So the picture-based writing task. Children either love them or hate them. They're a bit like Marmite, and sometimes it really depends on the picture that's given in the exam. But obviously, with all the practice in the world, with all the amazing sample papers that you do in the world, you cannot know definitively what picture will be in the exam. And so it's very, very important that you have some tools in your box and know how to approach the unknown when it comes in the form of your writing task on the day of the exam. And that's what I'll be discussing in this video, so stay tuned. Hi Geekers, so it's Joycelyn here. As you know, if you're a Geeker, I am the Managing Director of Geek School Tutoring. We are the experts in 11 plus preparation, helping students pass both the grammars and the independent school exams. We provide tuition at 2 of our centres in Catford and Beckenham, and we also provide tuition online. So back to today's video, the picture-based writing task. Well, first of all, we need to make sure that we actually, number one, we read the question. Secondly, we need to make sure that we take a moment to really look at the picture that's being given in the exam paper, and really take in as much of the detail as possible. Now, sometimes students will literally take a look at the picture and then just start writing. Don't do that. So before we carry on with this amazing video, please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications so that you will get notified every time a new Geek School video goes up. Enjoy! In your plan, you need to start thinking about the things that are obvious in the picture, and you also need to start thinking about how you're going to use the information in the picture to produce a story, if that's what's being asked. Sometimes the question will be to describe what's in the picture. So if it's a descriptive piece of writing, don't turn it into a story. If it's a story, obviously write a story. And if it's an open-ended question, i.e. use the picture below to inform a piece of writing, and they give you half an hour, you know, the usual type of timing, then you know you're open to either produce a descriptive piece of writing or a story. So reading the question is important. The last thing you want to do is to turn a descriptive piece of writing that's been set in the question into a story, because it shows that you're not following the instruction, and of course you will be marked down. So what do we do when we look at the picture? So an example is what you see on screen, and we can see that this is a winter scene. We've got 2 ponies or horses, and they seem to just be standing in isolation. We don't know if they've been abandoned. That's an idea, possibly. You know, we don't know why they're standing still and facing the same direction. Whatever the case may be, they seem to be near the trees. We don't know why. And obviously there's a fence. There is snow everywhere. I would say it's sort of medium amount of snow, and you know, all the trees, the trees do not have any leaves. We just see branches that are speckled with snow, you know, a good amount of snow. It's not heavy snow, but it's enough. So those are the obvious things, you know, that you would note down. Obviously we have got one brown pony or horse and one black pony or horse, or a darker brown pony or horse. And so we don't really see much else, you know. Maybe there's fog ahead, so it's sort of blurring our view of where they are and who might be around them. But the fact that the horses or the ponies seem to be standing in unison, maybe there is a trainer or somebody, you know, not far away from them, we really don't know. And that's the beauty of creativity. You can take this in whichever direction you want to, as long as you're using the information that comes in the picture. So we've gone through the obvious things, and then we've added some inference, thinking about why the horses are standing in unison. So they're standing together, they seem to be looking ahead or looking down together. Why are they doing that at the same time? That type of thing. Okay, so those are the obvious things, and then we can infer why they might be doing that. Now, this is something that a lot of students do. They'll make a brief analysis like I've just described, and then they'll just completely go off on a different tangent. And the message it gives is that actually I've had enough of this picture. I don't have anything to say in addition to the one sentence or two that I've added. I'm going to turn it into a different story altogether. We can see the winter scene. There is no reason why you would suddenly start writing about a trip to the beach or going camping or going on a rocket or something like that. And I've seen all sorts of interesting turns of events. I say interesting. Strange is more how it looks to the marker, because how do we get from two horses in a field to going to space? It just doesn't make sense. So you've got to stay realistic with your storyline, your plot. It has to be believable, and it has to always relate to the actual picture, what we can see in the picture. Don't be tempted to just completely go off on a tangent, because there would be no cohesion, no natural flow of events. It just won't work in your favor. Here's another thing, staying on track. So as you know, at Geek School, obviously we prepare students for the 11 plus, and you know, we do traditional forms of tuition where children come to the centre, and we also have online tuition as well, live online. But I also have a lot of video-based creative writing courses where students submit the work for marking. I see a lot of interesting writing attempts where literally one day you were driving past the field in the snow, and you saw these lovely ponies. And then the next day I went to school. Huh? So, and you know, maybe to show them a surprise. So now you are directing their steps. Okay, so be careful of the step. There's a step going down. Okay, so stop for a moment, just lift your leg onto the step in front. Let's hold on, there are cars coming. Obviously you don't want the person you've blindfolded to be flattened by a big 10-ton truck or something coming. You need to be able to guide the reader. Imagine that you are holding the hand of somebody who has been blindfolded, and you need to explain to them step by step by step exactly what's happening, why, so that they can visualize what's going on and almost recreate the story like a movie playing in their mind's eye. And everything starts to make sense in that way. But if you literally jump from driving in the countryside, seeing two ponies standing in the snow, And then the next day I woke up, had my breakfast, got ready for school, and my mum drove me to school. Why? How did we get there? It just doesn't make sense. There's no cohesion. There's no natural flow of events, okay? So it has to be done sequentially, step by step. And on that note, we want to make sure that we don't overcomplicate the plot, because really they tend to give, let's say, anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes to do the writing. And often students will begin the writing from the very morning. You know, one sunny day, I woke up, I looked out of the window and there was snow. And then I went to have a shower and I brushed my teeth. Then I went downstairs to have breakfast. And then, oh my goodness, by the time you've got through all of those unnecessary details, very, very, very unnecessary details, you've lost so much time. So what tends to happen is that the plot just seems to just run away with itself, and often students who write like this don't get to actually conclude their writing properly because time has run out. They spend so much time giving step-by-step accounts of everything that they've done in the morning, and then everything in the middle and the end becomes a rush. Don't start from the beginning of the day. I mean, hopefully it goes without saying that when you woke up, you know, you brushed your teeth, you had a shower, you had breakfast. Is that noteworthy? I don't think it is. You know, it really isn't necessary. Get to the point. Get to the point. Get to the point where you're driving in the countryside. Describe the feel of the weather, you know, how chilly it was, you know, maybe the car that you were in, the heat in the car was so much that the windows fogged, and so you wiped the window clean and you saw the image of these beautiful ponies standing in the snow. Something that is believable, something that's interesting, something that's a bit unusual. Waking up, brushing your teeth, having a shower, having breakfast, there's nothing unusual about that. It's so boring to read this in practically 80% of the pieces of writing that I get submitted in. Don't do it, because you'll run out of time and it's a boring start. Get to the actual interesting part of the story. Think of it like when you're watching a film. If it starts from the moment where the character has woken up, all of a sudden something, you know, quite busy starts to happen, but often they don't start the film from when the character wakes up. They'll often start it when something quite of magnitude happens, okay? And so you want to know what's going on, why it's happened, so it holds your attention the whole time. And then eventually we get an understanding of why this great disaster or this great thing has happened. You know, so think of it from that perspective. I want to talk about the use of the senses as well. There are 5 senses: to see, to smell, to taste, to hear, and to touch. Did I miss one? See, smell, taste, hear, touch. Good, we've got the 5. Okay, now it's a winter scene, so the obvious thing is to describe how cold and chilly maybe it was. Okay, but then you know, you can think about the wind blowing and maybe going around. You know how in winter the wind will blow at the back of your neck and, you know, it will send a chill down your spine, you know, all of those types of details. So I feel cold literally, there are goosebumps coming on my arm as I'm thinking about this, because it's an experience that I've had several times, and so it's relatable, you know, and it really helps the reader to get engaged with the writing. The senses are very, very important. Think about breathing in that cold air, you know, maybe it burns the nostrils a bit, something like that, or that the air is so thick with cold that it smells of nothing, you know, those types of details, the senses. If it's about let's say a trip to the beach, if you were swimming in the water, the taste of the salty water, or the murky taste if you're in the UK, no shade, no shade, that type of thing, okay? Or the heat of the hot pebbles on the beach, you know, how they made your feet sore, or it felt like something was pricking the under of your feet, that type of thing. We need those intricate details to help the reader to really understand what's being described and to make it realistic, okay? Now, just to give you some pointers, there are some themes with the writing that tend to come up, okay? Seasons, so winter's one, hot day at the beach, maybe camping, fireworks display, a nature scene, an old painting, something quite futuristic. They tend to be quite theme based, and so you know that I always want to help our geekers like you. And so if you look in the description, there's a post that I've created on the Geek School website where there are about 40 or more picture-based writing prompts, basically, and they're around a number of themes that will really help you to get that practice in. And it includes the picture of these ponies or horses as well, and there are four other season-based picture-based prompts, and then obviously, you know, some of the other picture prompts as well. So look at the link in the description, head over there and then just access it, get writing. You should know that Geek School has 2 writing prompts books. They are available on Amazon. It covers the 12 main areas of writing tasks in the 11 plus exams. Head over to Amazon using the links in this video's description. There's one for entry level, so year 3, year 4, and another one for year 5, year 6. I have spent a long time putting these together because I believe that there's nothing else on the market available in this form. So effectively they are A4 books, so your child will write in the book itself, so it's somewhere that all the writing can be kept together, and you can actually track the progress rather than an exercise book here has one story in, can't find it mum, can't find it dad, another book, and so on. And it's also got some tips and guidance for the students as well, so you can use that to help your child develop their writing. And then there are lots of writing prompts downloadables on the Geek School website in the shop, so head over there as well. And then of course we have the free creative writing course on the Geek School website, and the sister site, the 11 plus essay, and we have of course creative writing crash course. So there's a lot of support available for creative writing. Why would you not use it to get those skills and creative juices flowing so that you can produce your story nice and quickly at a fantastic standard? Okay, so I hope that's been helpful. Let's do the right thing. Comment on this video, let me know some of your pain points with writing, and I'll do my best to produce a video for you with some tips. Share this, you know, if you know anyone else preparing for the 11 plus, of course they can benefit from this as well. Share it with your friends. And you know, I love the fact that we've got a lovely community here where I see you all helping each other in the comments and so on. Top job, guys. Keep this going. I love seeing it. It's amazing. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.